everybody, how are you doing? Hope you're well. My name is Jemienaftaly. I am a pediatrician by profession. I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, join the family by subscribing. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to be part of us because this is a family. If you are that returning subscriber, thank you so much. You are a favorite person and you don't even know it yet. Thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. So into today's episode, I felt it is good for us to talk about the ARV Infant Prophylaxis, the drugs that we give to the neonates, to the infants. Neonates are these small babies that are newly born, the newborns from the word newborns. So if the mother is HIV positive, how do we go about preventing these children from getting the virus? So this is what we call the ARV Infant Prophylaxis. So prophylaxis basically means prevention. We are preventing the ARV prophylaxis in infants or in newborns. So this is what I want us to talk about. I want to ensure that everybody gets the knowledge on what these drugs are and how we go about it. So having said that, we have two drugs that we normally put on babies immediately they are born. We want to start this prophylaxis, these preventive ARV drugs to these babies immediately they are born. We are saying we already know the status of the mother and the status is positive, so we are giving these drugs to prevent these newborns from getting the virus. So we normally call them the HAE. HAE is the HIV exposed. This baby is exposed. At least we are able to know now the mother is HIV positive. So we have two common drugs that we normally use. One, we call it nevirapine, and we usually abbreviate it by NVP, capital NVP. Now, another drug that we use together with the nevirapine is zidovudine. Zidovudine, we abbreviate it as AZT. I know and I believe most people have come across these abbreviations and even these names. So the nevirapine and also the zidovudine are the drugs we use to prevent the infant, the newborn, from getting this virus. So what are the dosages? And we are saying we are starting on them immediately they are born. So what are the dosages? So we normally give the dosages as per kgs, the kilos of these babies. So if the baby is below 2 kgs, for the NVP, the nevirapine, we want to give 2 milligrams per kg per dose. So if the baby is for example 1.5, we are saying these are babies below 2 kgs, we give 2 milligrams per kg per dose. That is for the nevirapine. For this other one we call zidovudine, the one we are abbreviating as AZT, we want to give 4 milligrams per kg per dose. Those are the babies that are below 2 kgs weight. Yes. Now if a baby is between 2 kgs and 2.499 grams, meaning this baby is below 2.5 kgs but they are above 2 kgs, so these are the babies in between. These ones we want to give a dosage of, in terms of meals, we want to give 1 meal of nevirapine, and we give daily. This is drugs that we are giving daily without failing. So we give once daily the 1 meal if a baby is between 2 kgs to 2.499 grams. These are babies below 2.5. So we give 1 meal of nevirapine. We normally measure 1 meal. We give once per day. For the zidovudine, the AZT, we want again to give 1 meal just like the nevirapine. But now for the zidovudine, we want to give twice per day. So we want to give twice per day for the AZT. For the NVP, we want to give once per day. So those are babies between 2 kgs to 2.499 grams. How about babies that are above 2.5 kgs? So these babies, we want to give them 1.5 mils of nevirapine, the NVP, again once per day. Then for the zidovudin, the AZT, the same dosage, 1.5, but we want to give twice per day. So you notice that the difference is in terms of the times we are giving these drugs per day. For the nevirapine, always we give once. For the zidovudin, we want to give twice per day. So these are the dosages of the nevirapine, the zidovudin, the major drugs, the AZT, the ART prophylactic drugs for these babies. So I hope this is very, very clear. Now, something to note is that a big question is, for how long do we give these drugs? So we are saying we are starting them together immediately after birth, now that we know the mother's status. So we want to start both at the same time. We have said the dosages. Now we want to give up to 6 weeks, both of them, for the 6 weeks. At 6 weeks, we want to drop the AZT. The zidovudin now, you normally drop it and you remain with nevirapine. So you give the two drugs for the first 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, we are dropping the zidovudin and we are remaining with now the nevirapine. So how long do you give the nevirapine alone? After we remain with the nevirapine, we want to continue giving this baby until you give for 6 more weeks after cessation of breastfeeding. What we tell these mothers, the mothers that are HIV positive, so we encourage them to do breastfeeding just like any other mother who is not positive. So we want to do the breastfeeding for the first 6 months. So when they are breastfeeding, now we are giving this the nevirapine. Remember that after the 6 weeks of life, we want to drop the zidovudin. We remain with the nevirapine. We want to continue with nevirapine for another 6 weeks after cessation of breastfeeding. When this mother stops breastfeeding, we give nevirapine for longer, another 6 weeks after the baby stops breastfeeding. They're supposed to breastfeed just like any other mother. What the main key here is that we do not want these mothers to mix feed. Mix feed meaning they are weaning at the same time breastfeeding before the 6 months. So we give them options, either not to start on breast milk or breastfeed, but mostly we encourage them to do the breastfeeding because it's very, very key. It's very key. Remember, when you were talking about breastfeeding, you can check the video I did on breastfeeding, that breast milk is everything. It has got everything. It has got immunological factors. It has all those things, and there's no reason for these babies that are born to mothers with HIV that they lose this advantage of getting whatever is contained in this breast milk. So they should breastfeed just like any other mother for the 6 months. So what we are saying, that the nevirapine, this drug nevirapine, should continue another 6 months after cessation. After they stop breastfeeding, continue with the nevirapine for another 6 weeks. I hope this is clear. We said that zidovudin, the AZT, we dropped it the first 6 months. The first 6 weeks. So I hope this is very, very clear. Now you know the drugs we use. We give these babies when we start them, when we stop them, and the dosages now you know. What other things do we do to prevent these babies from getting this virus? So another very important thing is that we keep following up these babies after discharge. After the mother's gotten this baby, we started on the drugs and the mothers went home. This is not the end. We want to follow up these babies in the PMCTC so that we can tell if how the baby is going on, and we want to ensure that the mother keeps on giving these drugs. Again, there's a test that we normally do to these babies just to confirm that we are still HIV negative, despite the mother being HIV positive. So when the mothers go, we want to give them a clinic for the 6 weeks. The 6 weeks, remember, is when they come for the first vaccination. So we take that advantage. When they are coming for the first vaccination, we want them to do a test that we call the PCR. The PCR, these are tests that we want to do to ensure that these babies remain positive whole time. We remind the mother about the breastfeeding and not to mix feed whenever they come to the clinic. If we do the PCR at 6 weeks, it's negative, we still know that our baby is still negative. We tell the mom to continue with the nevirapine. From there, we want again now to, after 6 weeks, we want to do another one at 12 weeks, another PCR for the 12 weeks. Yes, 12 weeks again you want to do it. If it is negative, again we are happy, we are going on well, so we know that our baby is still negative. We want to repeat again at 6 months. At 6 months we repeat the PCR, still negative. We are happy that our baby is still negative. We are still following up with this clinic. The PCR is the one that determines if the baby has gotten the virus. Yes, so after 6 months now we want to test again at 1 year. At 1 year again you want to do the PCR. So you see how important it is to follow up these clinics. So after 1 year we want to test this baby at 1.5 years, that is the 18 months. So 18 months here is when we want to determine now if our baby if our baby is positive or negative. And here at 18 months, other than doing the PCR we were doing previously, we want to do something we call HIV antibody testing. The HIV antibody test is the one now that determines if now the baby is positive or negative. If at 18 months we realize that our baby is negative, the HIV antibody test is now negative, we leave it at that. Now we are completely assured that our baby is negative and there is no way they can get the virus now from there. So now we declare that this baby is HIV negative. We educate the mothers, we tell them on ways on how to ensure that the babies remain negative in as much as they are positive. The mothers are encouraged to continue with their ARV drugs. We are not only doing the prophylaxis to the babies. Remember, if the mom won't get their ARV drugs daily, this one will increase the chances of these babies getting the virus, because the viral load is going to be so high, and definitely the baby is going to easily get the virus with them. So we want to counsel the mom about this. If at 18 months we did the HIV antibody testing and it turns to be positive, now at this point we say and declare that this baby now is HIV positive. The HIV antibody testing at 18 months. If it is positive, we know now our baby is positive. What do? We want to start this child on now full heart, the antiretroviral drugs, the drugs themselves, leave alone the prophylaxis. We stop the prophylaxis because the prophylaxis we are trying to prevent. Now at 18 months they come, we do the antibody testing, the HIV antibody testing, and now it is positive. Now we start on full ARV drugs. We now try to start these babies on these ARV drugs, and this is now for life. This is now for life. No, we tell the mom now, you and your child, ensure you yourself you take the drugs, and also the babies take the drugs. Now they keep coming for the clinics for the viral load. We want to follow up on the viral load. Remember, the higher the viral load, the more dangerous it is. So we want to keep monitoring this viral load for both of them. Now this is it. Again, we counsel them. We want them to see a nutritionist. We want to counsel them on the best food to eat, balanced diet, food that is healthy, because these drugs are strong and we need them to eat well before even taking these drugs. So all this is very, very important. We keep reassuring the mother, we keep counseling the mom you ensure that they don't get the stigma that HIV people get. So we really want to cancel them as much as possible. So these are the things that we do. I felt it was good for me to tell you about the ARV prophylaxis. You have now known that the tests that we do to follow up on this baby after birth, the drugs we use and the dosages, and at what point, that is at 18 months, is when we declare if the child is HIV positive or not. So this is it for today. I want you to absorb that. Now you know. Thank you for always keeping tuned. Again, if you haven't subscribe to be part of this wonderful family. Again, turn on your notifications to know every time I'm posting a new video here. Yes. And thank you for always keeping tuned. Share these videos widely. You never know the people you are helping. Maybe someone somewhere is stranded with their baby. They don't know even where to start. So kindly share these videos so that they may reach as many people as possible. Yes. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye-bye.